Hey everyone, today I've got your Hesher movie review. And this movie is basically about a kid named TJ who has been through quite a tragedy in his life and with his family as well. And at first, when you're watching the movie, you see the opening scene where he's on his bike and he's chasing after this tow truck that's towing this red car that's all like banged up and whatnot, and he keeps chasing after it, and there's just something about this car that keeps having him come back to it throughout the movie. And we don't really know exactly why he's doing this just yet, but we end up finding out later on in the movie, but I will get to that a little bit later. And so while he's at school, he ends up coming across this guy named Hesher, who is played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And at first when I was watching this, I was like, wait a minute, okay, can people actually like see him? Because he started lurking around, just randomly popping out of nowhere. He almost reminded me of that demon bunny from Donnie Darko. I was like, this is really crazy. But he plays this really interesting character. He's got like shaggy, long hair. He's got tattoos. He looks emaciated. And of course he smokes like a million times a day, and he's a pyrotechnician, just loves blowing stuff up, and it's just totally crazy. And I really like his character. I think he definitely played a very unique character than any other character I've seen. Of course, I'm a huge Joseph Gordon-Levitt fan. I really think that he played this role, like, he definitely convinced me that he could do this role. Like, I was always following news about this movie and looking at set photos, and I was like, whoa, that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. At first, like, I was just blown away, and I was like, this is crazy. But anyway, so he ends up talking to TJ, and of course TJ's going through all these other problems with being bullied by these kids, and of course Hesher comes along, and he doesn't really, like, he's not the type of person that would stick up for TJ, and he would just stand there, and then he would just leave the room immediately, and I'm just like, do something. I was almost, like, getting really agitated. I'm like, Hesher, do something, you're so cool. But, I mean, he's, like, this loner guy, and you don't really, like, you can't really figure him out, like, his character. It's just, it's really interesting how he portrays this guy who just doesn't seem to want to be with anyone, and just, it's really crazy. So then, when he does eventually come across TJ again, he goes over to his house, starts doing his laundry, and at his house he meets his grandmother and his dad, who is played by Rainn Wilson, and you just see just how run down the whole scenarios are, and just the family dynamic. It just doesn't seem like anyone cares. But the only person that I was rooting for was the grandma, because she seemed to have high spirits, even though she looks like she's just on her deathbed. And just, she seems really positive. And of course, you have another character like Natalie Portman's character, who TJ meets at a supermarket, and she's just trying to make money. And of course, I think he might have a little crush on her, but they're just trying to be friends, and everything just goes south completely. It's just a whole bunch of mayhem, and Hesher's this, like, hardcore, like, metalhead, just rocking away, and he just, like, he has a certain swagger about him. Every time he walks somewhere, just the way he talks, and he tries to put himself out there, it's like he's a loner, but he seems to know how to talk to people and know what he wants in his life. Just, he needs to learn how to fulfill his life, I guess. And what I took out from this movie was that he just, I don't know, he just didn't seem like the type of person that would really want to have any friends, but yet you sort of, like, feel sorry for him. You sort of see a change in his attitude, and especially when he's trying to connect more with this family, that he sort of just keeps coming back over to the house, and he's got this big black van that he's living in. He's just vandalizing other people's houses and just swearing and being all crazy like that. And then when it gets closer to the end of the film, you find out, now going back to the whole car issue, in the beginning of the movie, you find out that TJ lost his mom, and it's been really hard 2 months, and that's why everything's been sort of really with the family. Just, they don't seem to be happy. And then you find out that it's almost like Hesher was trying to help sort of bring up the family spirits. And of course it does this really nice thing in the end for the grandma, and I think it was a really good way to end the movie. And I'm not going to say exactly what happened, because it almost brought a tear to my eye. I've never felt this moved by Joseph Gordon-Levitt's performance, and I just think this movie is definitely one to check out, because it's just one of those movies you're not sure if it's going to be good or not. But of course I'm a huge fan of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I will say that again. And if you haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out. And yeah, so let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Hesher. I thought it was a really good movie. Tell me if you liked it, if you saw it. And also, what is your favorite Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie? I know he's come out with some really, really good ones, because he's been acting for quite some time now. But, I don't know. So, do that. And you guys can also subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for my Trailer Thursday videos. And you guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.